know there are a lot of investors who have requested me. They want to know more about Helios Capital, how it began. Since you happen to know Samir bhai, so how it moved to Singapore and what is it that you started out of Singapore, and then we'll talk about your Indian journey.
Okay. So actually, Vikas, Samir moved to Singapore in 98. So that time he was in the Alliance Capital. And in 98, they made him the head of Asia, emerging Asia. And as a result, he had to move base from Mumbai to Singapore. And since then, he stayed back in Singapore. And then I joined Alliance in 2000, actually, end of 99. And 2000 is when I joined Alliance. So I joined him then. And I used to also look at emerging Asia, but mainly two components of emerging Asia, which was consumers and pharmaceuticals. These were the two major components that I used to look after. But report into Samir, since he was managing the whole of emerging Asia. And mind you, he used to manage it with some, I think, 5 analysts, if I'm not mistaken, of which 2 were in India, 2 were in Singapore, and 1 was in Hong Kong. These were the breakup of the 5 analysts. And he used to manage the whole of emerging Asia portfolio based on these 5 analysts and the coverages. And
this was 1998.
98, he moved to Singapore and he remained there, right? Then we both quit Alliance in August of 2003 and wanted to start a domestic mutual fund. Didn't work out because we realized that it wasn't that exciting at that point in time. And finally, we started looking at an offshore-based fund, right? So Samir stayed behind in Singapore. I was always in Mumbai. So we said what to do. Long-only funds at that point in time were not that exciting because the fee structures, we would have been just one of the participants in the whole big pot of offerers, manufacturers rather. So we said what to do to be a bit different and how to convince yourself that you can do it. Mind you, we were all only long-only managers at that point in time, right? So we came across this data. We used to keep churning data and all, and we realized that India has much more volatility than any other market as such. We saw various reasons. And in fact, in our, the best thing that we put across is we compare US S&P to India Nifty and how the two move. So the best part about volatility is that if you can capture on the downside, if you can conserve on the downside, you can kill any guy on the upside, right? So that's what appealed to us. And that's why we brought about this hedge fund. And we started off with Helios. So we set up Helios in January of 2005. Okay. And we said the first offering should be a hedge fund. And a hedge fund will be a long short fund, India dedicated, because our forte was India. And that's how we came about doing this long short in India as such. So we started this long short in January, started deploying money actually in June, July of 2005. And it's done handsomely well. In fact, it's beaten most of the long only guys, not only offshore. By the way, our average net is always been around 62 in the last 17 years that we've been in this long short fund. And with that 62 net, we've beaten most of the long only funds as such. So across, not only in offshore based funds, but also domestic mutual funds. If you convert this thing to rupees and remove the performance fee and only take the asset management fee, we've beaten most of the mutual funds also, domestic mutual funds also.